right, we'll do it with the light on.
I don't think I can go through with this.
Well, do you mind if I start without you?
I mean, I just don't do one-night stands.
Well, I wish you'd told me before. This is the Heathrow Grange Hotel, you know. These rooms don't come cheap. I didn't want to sleep here.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Is it? Oh, well, I'm only joking. I'm renowned in Westminster for my sense of humour. And for my enormous majority. And for my incredible virility. And Vicky, this isn't a one-nighter. This is a first-nighter. I love you. I've loved you ever since the Sloaney Girl Temp Bureau sent you into my life. Yesterday.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. How was it for you?
How was what? Oh, that. Well, it was, different.
Really? In what way different? Sexier? Chunkier? Bigger?
Quicker.
Yes, because it was quick. I mean, I'm a busy man. I don't have time to waste. Besides, what is this obsession with quantity over quality? I mean, orgasm is the objective, isn't it? Magazines my wife reads are full of articles about how to have orgasms. But why they're printing them in Farmers Weekly is beyond me. Well, I've never had any problem on the climax front. Whoops, I've just another one. I wonder what's on the telly.
Alan, did you really mean it when you said you loved me?
Oh, of course. Well, when I said I loved you, I really meant it.
Only I've never been to bed with a married man before. Well, not unless you count Daddy.
Shh. That's my favourite dad.
Alan, I'm so glad you do love me, because I forgot to tell you I'm not on the pill. Well, I was on the pill, but then I put on 2 stone, got spots, and no one fancied me. Oh, Alan, what would you do if I got pregnant?
Oh, well, I'd leave my wife and marry you, of course. Thanks for keeping the place, Piers. Overslept. You know what it's like when you're in the sack all night, boffing some insatiable little sex pot. And, of course, you wouldn't know what that's like at all, would you?
Hey, bastard, there is a queue here, you know.
It's all right, Crippen. It's an airliner, not a corporation tram. There are plenty of seats for everyone. Though why you're going to a conference on farming is beyond me. You represent an inner-city slum, don't you?
Even my constituents are allowed to eat.
Are they? What a shame.
If this terminal wasn't patrolled by heavily armed members of your anti-terrorist squad, I'd give you a good smack for that.
Well, there you are, Izzy. There's the voice of the modern Labour Party. Thinly veiled political thuggery.
Do you like hospital food, pal?
I love it, but then, of course, I'm in Bupa. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. And your passport, please, Herr Bastard.
I'm sure I had it last night.
I'm afraid there's rather a long queue. Would you mind stepping aside?
Yes, as Hitler said to Chamberlain before he invaded Poland. Listen, my dear, I am Alan Bastard, MP. I've got the largest majority in the House of Commons, and I'm attending a conference on a subject very close to the German soul, namely pig meat. I don't need a passport. We won the war.
And much good it did you. Next, please.
Look, Fräulein, I can vouch for him.
Yes, and who will vouch for you?
Oh, well, Alan will vouch for me. Right, that's it. I demand to see the airport manager, or the airport Führer, or whatever you call him.
I'm afraid Mr. Goering is unavailable. He's busy pillaging the art galleries of Eastern Europe. Smoking or non-smoking?
Perhaps it's in your case. What? Your passport? No. Oh, God. I must have left it at home in Yorkshire. Damn.
Well, at least have a look.
No, it's not in here.
Well, it might be. I'm always losing things and finding them in unexpected places.
Yes, that's because you're a congenital idiot, Piers.
200,000 shares in Ocelot Motors. I can't believe it.
At today's share price, you're virtually a millionaire. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Yes, it could. But I'm glad it didn't. I hardly even knew Uncle Luke. I never imagined he was still alive.
He isn't.
No, of course not. Poor old Stiffy. Where are you going?
To work, darling. I mean, we don't all have dead Uncle Luke's, and I am still Alan's political agent.
You won't be when I've finished with him.
What on earth do you mean by that?
I can afford to leave him now. Nice, messy divorce with lots of unwelcome publicity for him.
Aren't you being a little vindictive, darling?
Yeah, he deserves it. He cheats on me.
We cheat on him.
That's different. We love each other.
And then, when they found out that Pia's AIDS test was positive, they sent us all home. Yes, that's the one. Of course, it's simple. Like Pia's.
Mwah! Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah. What's Alan doing back so early from the conference? Well, you're not going to believe this. Last month, we all had routine blood tests, and Pia's, of all people, turns out to be a raving...
You left it in your bedside drawer.
Oh, I know about that, darling. Under the March 1987 amendment to the European Community Travel Agreement, members of Parliament on official business don't actually need to carry the passport.
Shut up, Alan. I'm not Piers. I mean, why don't you just admit that you spent last night in some airport hotel with some little typist, for whom I feel nothing but the deepest pity?
Oh. I see. Well, if you prefer to think the worst, Sarah, rather than listen to my perfectly logical explanation, quite frankly, I don't know how this marriage is going to survive.
It isn't. I've just inherited £1 million, and I'm going to divorce you.
Yes?
Edwina Curry likes it hot and spicy. That's the password, isn't it? You've only been real clapped, though.
Of course. That's the whole object of the exercise.
How do you mean?
Well, it's all a matter of perception. You see a clapped-out ambulance immobilised by vindictive traffic wardens. I see 100 square feet of prime office space in Park Lane, £50 a day and no rate. Now, about your divorce.
Are you wearing makeup?
Just a hint of mascara.
That's very nice. It suits you. Sorry, go on, Norman.
Well, as soon as you told me about the divorce, I transferred all your assets to the one country where even the bank accounts of known criminals are safe from official scrutiny.
Vatican City.
Precisely. So your wife won't be able to get her hands on a penny.
Well, that's very good, Norman, but the problem isn't my money. You see, Sarah has inherited a major stake in Ocelot Motors. That's why she can afford to divorce me.
I see. Well, if she's not after your money, it doesn't matter if she leaves you, does it? And if I were your wife...